My name is Donato and welcome back to my channel, where today I'll be taking you on a world famous run around the trails of the Lickey Hills that includes famous cars, popes, hobbits, saints and oh so much more. Come join me, and whilst I trial out the Hoka One One Torrent 2, yes, let's go. Yes folks, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, please do click on that subscribe button and give a thumbs up if you enjoyed this video, where, as I mentioned in the intro, I'll be taking you around the beautiful Lickey Hills Country Park, which is in the southern area of Birmingham in the United Kingdom. And also I'm going to be taking these little babies out. Oh yes, these are my new, you may have seen me do an initial review. Those are my new Hoka One One Torrent 2. It's the first time I've ever bought, would you believe, in all the years I've been running, first time I've ever bought any specific trail running shoes. So it's going to be interesting for me to go out in this beautiful country park. And what I'll be doing is, as well as taking you around a country park, there's a lot of history here, a hell of a lot of history, which I want to share with you. I won't probably remember all the exact dates and people and so on, but it's a very famous place. And if I was to say to you that maybe there was a hobbit or two around here, that's one of the histories of this. So let's crack on and go. So yes, the Lickey Hills Country Park. Here I'm going along the initial trail. For those who are local or want to know a little bit about the route I'm doing, is I'm following what is called the woodpecker route. And yes, there are woodpeckers here. I can't remember the exact distance. So immediately I'm confronted with some steep steps. There's going to be a lot of this going on. And as I mentioned, one of the famous history points of the Lickey Hills is the Hobbit, Tolkien the writer, based Middle Earth as here, Lickey Hills. So yes, gosh, this is pretty steep. So I got to the, as I say, got to the top of the first hill. I think this is called Lickey Top. But hey, there's going to be some interesting names as we go through, as I go around this area. But one of the things that literally within, I don't know, maybe half a mile of here, for those of you who are Christian and want to know some Christian history, Catholics, there's the Blessed Cardinal Newman was buried not far from here, and the Pope came and visited us to canonize the Cardinal at the time. And yeah, he was buried not far from here, and he's now, the body remains have been moved to cathedral in the centre of Birmingham. So here, oh wow, here's a little coppice at the top of this particular hill, and when they were up, they were up, and when they were down, they were down. And just over on that direction there, that was the site of Austin Rover Works, where they built the original Mini back in the 60s. It's all grass now. They've demolished the factory. It's not there anymore. And if you look in a straight line, you might see what we might call, for our American friends, downtown Birmingham. So Birmingham city centre, for those British we call it city centre, is straight in that direction over there. What a beautiful view. So we're not that many miles away from the centre of Birmingham, and yet you turn around and you got this beautiful countryside. Lickey Golf Course just over there. So let's continue on this journey. I have to say, initial impressions on this trail with the Torrent 2 shoes is absolutely superb. They really hold the foot nicely, and I do enjoy how the midfoot feels so comfortable when it lands, and yeah, it feels so good. But it's early days, barely done a few kilometers. Onwards. Wow, that was one hell of a descent, and the Torrent 2 passed the first test, which was retaining the grip on multiple terrain. Steep hill drop, that was very steep, and it was both leaves, tree roots and rocks coming down, and felt very comfortable, very confident coming down that. So we're now crossing into the second part of Lickey Hills Country Park. So there's this little road here, we run along and then back into the trees and the countryside here. So with every descent there's an ascent, and obviously after this there'll be another descent. But these shoes, I've got to say, they are really holding firm on the ground, and for me, not having run trails or anything like this before, it gives me a confidence that sure footing, and I can maintain a certain speed, pace, whatever you want to call it. Whew. Oh, these hills, these Lickey Hills. So I'm here at the Lickey Hills Visitor Centre, and I've got my Exploring the Lickeys, and all about the history, as I mentioned, about Tolkien and all the other history that I'm going to show you, going around with Rover Works, Austin Works, Mini, Cardinal Newman, or the Blessed Cardinal Newman. But also here, if you're not local to the area, you can drive to this place, and there's car parks, and you can basically start your woodpecker trail route from here, and as it's a circular route, you can go all the way around and come back to your car, and away you go. So that's one of the beauties of this route here. And you can, if you did Google it, I'm sure there's other points where you can go and park and start from there as well. But this is a great place to come and visit. And let's crack on with the run. So as you can see, nice big car park, and there is another car park up in that direction. So let's get back on the trail. So I've arrived at another vantage point here. Over in that direction we've got the Bittle Reservoir, and a bit more history in the park just over there. Whilst the leaves are disappearing, there's a park called Cofton Park, and in the late noughties, I think it was 2009 or was it 2010, I mentioned to you about Cardinal Newman being beatified by the Pope and canonised. I can't remember the exact words, and apologies to the Catholics out there, because I'm getting all the words all mixed up. But over in that park there was over, I think it's 30,000, 50,000, a lot of people came to see a mass held by the Pope himself. Yeah, the Pope came here, right to Cofton Park, and I was one of the lucky ones who got a place to, I was drawn out a lot from the church I used to go to, and I was lucky to get a place and go and visit him, and I was literally within feet of him as he went by in his Pope-mobile. So yes, there's a bit more history. Cofton Park, and the Pope came over from the Vatican right here to the Lickey Hills. So let's continue. Those of you who don't want to take the longer squirrel route, red woodpecker route, there is the bluebell route and the squirrel route. I did film, there are 3 other arrows. So you've got the orange arrow for squirrel route, blue for bluebell route, and the red arrow for the woodpecker route. So let's continue with the woodpecker route. As I'm doing a slow, gradual ascent, nice and easy, I thought I'd explain to you, how did the Lickey Hills come about? How is it here? What's it all about? A lot of you watching may know or would have heard of Cadbury's chocolates. Yes, Bourneville, which is a suburb now of Birmingham, in South Birmingham, and the family at the time, the Cadbury family, owned a lot of the land around here, because this is all just countryside, as you can see. Bourneville was countryside, it wasn't part of Birmingham at the time, but Birmingham was quite a small city, but as it grew, it is what it is now. But the Cadbury family gifted this area to the Birmingham City Council, and it comes under Birmingham City Council maintenance and so on, and because at the time Bourneville and Cadbury factory, the Cadbury family were very much into looking after their staff, and I'm looking at what route I'm supposed to be going. Oh yeah, down this way. So the Cadbury family definitely put their staff first, and to get here was at the end of a tram line. You know the old trams, the ones you've got in San Francisco now, that was the trams here. So people would catch a tram at weekends and come here for their recreation, walking around the beautiful Lickey Hills. Hope you're enjoying this, I'm loving it. Now we got the descent. Hey! Once again, back on another ascent. Whew. As I was saying, the terrain here is stones, mud, leaves, and these shoes are gripping fantastically well. Really good. So pleased with them. So I'm about halfway around. How muddy are the shoes? Well, let's have a quick look. Oh, they're getting there. Getting there, still maintaining that nice bright orange, but won't be long before these are totally covered in mud. Let's continue. I've now arrived at another historic site. Many misspent youth were spent by myself here and many friends, where we'd come up to what we call the monument. And this is a war memorial monument, and it can be seen for miles around. Whilst there's trees around here, it's on a hilltop and can be seen for miles around. So onwards, almost at the end now, so last few miles and we'll be finishing the Woodpecker Trail here in the Lickey Hills. So as we come out of the monument area, back onto a road here and onto Monument Lane, the road Monument Lane. And this is where I used to come with a group of friends, family, Christmas Eve, Christmas carol singing, yes, because it was known as the posh end of where we lived. So some beautiful properties around here. I'm just coming to the last part and join onto the section. It's called Beacon Hill of the Woodpecker Trail, where there's a famous castle. We used to call it a castle anyway. Let's go. So we've arrived now at the wide expanse which is called Beacon Hill, because we're about to arrive at a beacon. We're now coming to that famous castle I told you about. Yes, here we are with the beautiful views. Let's go show you. Just look at that beauty, eh? What a beautiful view out across Worcestershire and Birmingham. Look at these beautiful views. So looking out into the distance there is downtown Birmingham. You can even see the top where I came from, the hilltop at Lickey, where I came from earlier. This side is going into Worcestershire. You've got the Lickey Hills, and over in the distance there, which is mist covered, is the Malvern Hills. Off with a super descent. So that's it folks, that's me done. This is the end where I finished my part of the Woodpecker route, because I'm just going to head back on the road last few kilometers to finish. But the whole route is just a little over 10 kilometers, maybe 11 kilometers. Yeah, I'd guess at more the 10 and a half. And I'm finishing here at Valley Farm Drive entrance to the Lickey Hills Country Park. I hope you've enjoyed this video. I've absolutely loved my HOKA One One Torrent 2. They felt fantastic, first time out on the trails, and such a beautiful trail here. As I say, it's a gorgeous 10k route. I don't know why I've never done this before, but it's certainly something I'm going to be doing more regular, maybe at least once a week, maybe twice a week. It's a lovely route. Yeah, there's some sharp ascents and some sharp descents, but it's just so beautiful, so uplifting, and it's good for the soul being out in the countryside, don't you think? Hope you've enjoyed this. Give it a thumbs up if you have, and subscribe and all that jazz, and I'll see you at the next video, where I'll be showing you how I've been progressing with these Torrent 2 shoes. Bye for now.